Okay, so this starts off the first official Sniper Gains trading stream. So this is pretty exciting for me. Now, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Ian Maigua. I go by Sniper Gains. What I am is a futures trader who specializes in trading the CRT model, better yet known as the candle range theory. Now, in this stream, you'll be able to see me execute this trading strategy. Hopefully the market does give me an opportunity. So I'm excited. And as I go through this, I'm just going to stream my thoughts on what's happening in the market and try to see where I can get some good setups. Hopefully we can catch a pretty good trade tonight. So that way I don't have to trade during the New York session, which is going to be very, very crazy. So I'm trying to avoid all that drama by just trading it right now. So yeah, that's it. Let us begin the stream. So I want you to take a look at my stats so that way you know I'm legit, I'm the real deal. If you take a look at this, this is my Topstep account. You will see that I currently have made about $3,703.38 on my first account. And on my second copy trading account, you'll see I've made over $3,919.19. Now, with this CRT model strategy, what makes it a little bit unique is it doesn't necessarily have a very high win rate, but it makes up for it with having a high profit factor and average win to average loss. So this is my average win to average loss on my follower account, while on my real account, well, not on my leader account, I'm sorry about that, it's 3.29 and the profit factor is 2.19. So this is just to kind of show you this is a real thing. This is not manipulated. So I'm just going to keep refreshing and then refreshing some more. So you can see that it's real, because I know there are certain people who can manipulate these numbers, and my goal is just to make sure that I'm not manipulating them. So let me take a look at this. Boom. Should be seeing everything. That's good. Okay, cool. Now let's dive into the market and see what we're working with tonight. If you take a look right now, you'll see that gold is at 64. Now gold has a tendency to push very hard whenever it goes above 40 to 50 points. So this red candle that I'm seeing, to most people would look like a bad thing, but to me, it's a great, great thing. Because what I am anticipating is this is the 10 p.m. Eastern time. I usually use Eastern time just because that's like the style that I like to use, and that is the usual standard. But when was the last time you saw NQ go, 443 points up during Asia session? It's literally insane. So there's a good chance that the big moves are going to be happening tonight. And then when it goes towards the New York session, it'll start to stagnate. That's my prediction. So right now, I don't like the setup on NQ because it's underneath the 50 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. But the bullish SAR dots are showing bullish momentum. So it's a tricky play on this one. So I'm trying to avoid this for right now. However, I really, really like the setup for gold because it's above the 50 EMA. And it's bullish SAR dots representing bullish momentum. So you have bullish directional bias by being above the 50 EMA on the 1 hour time frame, but you also have bullish SAR dots, which represents momentum. If you want to see how to put these on, what you got to do is you go to indicators, you go to the EMA, and then you click on the moving average exponential. And then from there, when you double click on it, you can change it to 50. Kind of like that. So I'm just going to delete this one. Second thing is the SAR dots. That one's pretty easy. You just go to indicators, you type in SAR, and then you just choose the parabolic SAR. So whenever it comes to the parabolic SAR, I never change the settings. I just leave it as is. So we're going to delete that. And we're just mainly going to be focusing over here. Now I'm going to have to take a look at my phone to read what the chat is saying, because this is a little bit unique. So right now, I just want to make sure that the chat is showing that I'm live. So I should be live right about now. But this one should be listed as public. Yes. So that's my first public stream. So I'm going to go here. And ideally, I'm just going to be looking at this just to see what it looks like. I wish it could allow me to do it on mobile, but it's refusing to do so. I don't know why. Which is not cool. But they say that if I get a chat, it will come over here. So on occasion, I'm going to have to be looking through here. So that way, if there's a chat, I can be able to be notified. I will need to see, let's see, timestamps. Yeah. Hi, I am Sniper Gains. I'm currently looking for a bullish CRT setup on gold or copper. Send that out. And then I will try to do my best to kind of engage with you guys. I just wish it could kind of show me over here, but you know, I'm learning this stuff and I will, you know, I'll figure it out. So here, this is my TradeZella. I want to kind of go over the way I'm going to handle risk today. So my profit balance on my leader account should be $3,707.78. So I'm going to go back and just check. Leader account. So, well, actually, no. My balance on the leader account is $3,557.38. So I got to go and change that. 355.78. 357.38. 350. Hold on. 3,557 and 38 cents. 38 cents. Okay, cool. So the way it works is this. I have a unique system that I use in order to control risk. The way I do it is whenever my profit balance is from $0 to $3,999, I have to make sure that I do not risk no more than $300 max per day, including fees and commission. When I get past that 4,000 profit threshold, the way it will be is I essentially cannot risk no more than 10%. Now, for me, with my strategy, I even like to split it even further into threes. So on average, if I have a pretty good day, I should only be using one trade and then I close it. So that would mainly be, what is it? Like about 3% of my actual value when I'm above 4,000. So we'll see what happens today. But the idea is if I have $300, I try to chop it up into thirds or as close to thirds as possible. So if I do take a hit in one play, I still have two other ones that I can use to push my trade even higher. The second metric that I use is for my CRT setups, which we'll see soon, hopefully tonight. I always want to make sure that I at least have an average risk to reward or a risk to reward ratio of 2 or greater. So we'll see. It all depends on what the market presents tonight. And I'll be logging each one over here just to kind of keep myself on track. So for the charting, I'm going to go to Trading View. And now that we're on Trading View, I want to kind of give you an idea of what's going on. If you're not familiar with how the CRT works, it basically leverages what's known as accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. Accumulation refers to all the orders that you see in a single candlestick. For me, I purposely trade the 1 hour candlestick because I tend to get the best moves possible. Now, in this whole candlestick, let's just say this was one of them. You have sell stops over here for the people who want to short the stock. But over here, you have, what am I saying here? Over here, you have, I'm sorry, let me rewind that. Over here, you have sell stops, which is known as sell side liquidity, meaning there are a lot of bullish people who have a bullish bias right over here. And then over here at the top of the candle, you have buy stops, which represents the stops for all the people who have a bearish or taking a bearish position on gold, which would be kind of stupid. But hey, you know, people do stupid things when they trade. It is what it is. Either way, the way it works is with candle range theory, even for example, something like this right here is, this would be the accumulation candle. This would be manipulating the candle. And then because it forced the price to go down, but rose and closed inside of this range, the odds are is it will continue upwards. Ideally to take out the opposing liquidity, which in this case are buy stops. So with something like this, it's okay, but it would not have been a pretty good setup for me because I need to be able to catch a 2R trade from it. So let's see here. And I'll kind of dive into how the importance of this candle right here. But ideally what happens is whenever price goes in, sweeps the sell stops or sell side liquidity, we're looking to get the first bullish 5-minute fair value gap. The way I like to do it is I like to enter on the fill of the fair value gap, and I would target the top of what would be the accumulation hour. In this example, the risk to reward is kind of slim, where I could only be able to get about a 1.07. That's not good enough for my strategy because my win rate hovers between like 40 to 50%. So I really need to be picking good trades or good risk to rewards. So that's kind of like the idea. It will sweep, form this bullish fair value gap. I put a buy limit here. Make sure my stop loss is always on the bottom of what I call the manipulation hour. And then when it enters, we wait for it to distribute to here. That's basically the strategy. Now you'll get to see it in real time if the market presents something pretty nice. Now, the one that catches my eye because I see gold is heavily bullish is this red candle right here. So this is a pretty good setup for me because within the next hour, it will most likely sweep here but push up to continue going up because there's a lot of bullish momentum. No, the way I'm able to see that is 63 points already during the Asia session, and we haven't even hit London yet. So that's very bullish. It's above the 50 EMA on the 1 hour, which is good. Then also over here, we see that it has the bullish SAR dots. That's also important. It means that there's a lot of bullish momentum going into it. As I said, I'm just occasionally just checking. So over that scenario, it means that there's a good chance the price is going to keep pumping up. Now this is the accumulation hour. Now you will see that I put in these two vertical lines. One of the special sauce techniques that I use when trading CRT is I can choose any candle that I want on the hourly and treat it as an accumulation hour. But if I, let's say, pick this hour right here, I have to draw these two dots or these two vertical lines right here to designate or show me the manipulation hour. This is important because for this sequence to work out properly, you have to absolutely do it like this. If you're going to do it my style, right? My style requires me to be kind of like this. So imagine this price action has not yet happened. So we're going to go and we're going to click continue. Ah, son of a... I don't know why it would take me to that. That's kind of weird. But let me try that again. I probably shouldn't have touched that, but that's kind of annoying. Let me get out of here. Do you want to continue? No. Yes. So in a sequence like this, right, I would be drawing the the bullish CRT model, kind of like this. So this right here from 7 to 7:55 represents the 7 o'clock hour. From 8 to 9, it represents the manipulation hour. Anytime you choose an accumulation hour, always make sure you draw the manipulation hour, which simply involves taking two vertical lines, making sure it's 1 hour in length. And then all you're trying to do is you want to take a look and see where it sweeps. So if it's sweeping here, you're looking to see it form a bullish 5-minute fair value gap. So that will be the fair value gap right here, like so. And then over here, we'd wait for the fill to continue upward. Now in this case, it already hit the target, but the idea is it will go fill this first before hitting the target. So with this setup, I wouldn't have been able to capitalize on it, but that's okay. Sooner or later, it will perform a sequence where I can take advantage of it. And I think it might happen in this candle, but we'll need to see what happens next. So let me remove the drawings here. And give me just 1 sec. I just have to make sure that everything is good as I'm doing this, okay? So 1, 2, 3. So we're looking at here, noting the candle, noting what's going on, noting the source of what's going on here. Let me see. I wish I could do this and kind of see what's going on. But I think it's okay. It should be good. Give me just 1 minute. I'm just going to temporarily pause this just so that way I don't go too far into it. So 1 second when as I review the footage, okay? It's going to be a little bit of an echo, so it's okay. I just have to see. So give me a sec. Okay, it's gonna be a little bit of an echo, so it's okay. Okay, cool. To 50, kind of like that. Like this right here is, this would be the accumulation candle. This would be manipulating the candle, and then because it forced the price to go down, but rose and closed inside of this range, the odds are is it will continue upwards, ideally to take out the opposing liquidity, which in this case are buy stops. So with something like this, it's okay, but it would not have been a pretty good setup for me because I need to be able to catch a 2R trade from it. Let's see. And I'll kind of dive into how the importance of this candle right here. But ideally what happens is whenever price goes in, sweeps the sell stops or sell side liquidity, we're looking to get the first bullish 5-minute fair value gap. The way I like to do it is I like to enter on the fill of the fair value gap, and I will target the top of what will be the accumulation hour. In this example, the risk to reward is kind of slim, where I could only be able to get about a 1.07. That's not... Okay, so I'll just be kind of toggling just to see. Yeah, okay, cool. I think that's fine. Should be okay. Anywho, let's get back to business. So, with that being said, let's get back to business. I feel like I'm good. If the audio has any issues, guys, just let me know. Because, yeah, I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. Now, back to business. So, essentially what's happening right now, this is the 10 p.m. candle. In this candle, as it's forming, there are lots of buy orders over here, sell orders over here. So what do I actually want it to do? In real time, when this is happening, I look at a few factors first. First, I take a look and make sure that it is above the 50 EMA. So I'll take this horizontal line here. Then I always like to write my notes as a reminder. Any 1 hour accumulation candle above this 50 EMA equals bullish directional bias. So that's the first thing. What you see right here, I'm going to just highlight that as well, are the bullish SAR dots, which equals bullish momentum. Bullish SAR dots, bullish momentum. So whenever I see a sequence where I have both a bullish directional bias and bullish momentum, it really, piques my interest, because it means that it has a really good chance to keep pumping up, which is what I want to see. Now that it's about to go to the next hour, I'm going to take these two lines right here, vertical, vertical. Okay. So we're going to zoom in. I'm doing all my charting here, and then I'll eventually have to do it on Topstep X. So now that I'm here, I'm going to zoom into the 5-minute, and I'm going to label each of these 4 quarters. So here, I'm going to take this box, call it, what is time? Is it 10 p.m. EST, accumulation hour. And now, on the next hour, it's going to be labeled as the manipulation hour. So this is going to be the 11 p.m. Eastern manipulation hour. So because we're having a bullish bias, I ideally want to see that the next candles that are forming right about now to take out this liquidity right here. So over here, there's a lot of bullish liquidity, or what we call sell stops, right over here. So I'm anticipating that price is going to go in, purposely drive price down, take these people out right here, form a bullish fair value gap, so that way I can enter and go up. That is what I ideally want to see. And then on this side, I'm going to draw the distribution hours. So the distribution hours can vary. It could take maybe 2 hourly candles, 3 hourly candles, 10 hourly candles. It doesn't really matter. As long as you have entered over here, as long as the manipulation hour has created a 5-minute fair value gap, you can enter during the manipulation hour or even in the distribution hours. But it has to form right here. So I'm going to keep taking a look at it. And while this is cooking, I'm going to go to my Topstep, make sure I'm on my leader account. And I'm going to have to switch it to MGC, because remember, I have to stick to my risk management, which means I cannot be risking no more than 300 in a day. I ideally want to look for a setup where I'm spending maybe $120, but getting at least 2 to 3 times that. That's kind of like the play. So I'm going to go on the hourly, and I'm going to highlight it just like the other one. But the big difference is the multiplier for this is 10 versus 100 on the GC contract. So I'm going to go here, put in that. So that's one thing that I'm looking at. And over here, I'm going to open up in another new window. Yeah, so I don't want to have too many windows up because I don't want it to affect the stream. Okay, so I think that should be okay. Okay, that should be okay. All right, cool. Now what we're gonna do, okay, hold up. I need to reduce that down a little bit. Okay, that's 10, perfect. And always remember, whenever it comes to these candles, they always end at 55 because we're on the 5-minute time frame. That's super important because when the fair value gap forms, if it does form, it needs to be forming within 9 by at least 11:55. If it doesn't do that, we'd have to switch to a different accumulation hour to work with. So, for example, we'll go to it on the hourly time frame, hit that replay button, start anew, bam. So you see that's only showing the 10 o'clock hourly candle, right? If you go to the 5 p.m. or the 5-minute, you'll see that it's supposed to be 10:55. Right now it's showing one just because we are so close to the hour. But let me try a different one so that way you can kind of see it. So this is 8 p.m. So we're going to go here. So 8 p.m. If I go on the 5-minute, it will say 8:55. And bam, there we go. Okay. So just always remember that whenever we're doing this strategy. So this is going to be the gold setup. Now I'm going to put on some alert settings just so that way I can be notified if it sweeps here. If it sweeps here, then that means I'm going to have to look for another setup, another bullish setup that I can take advantage of. So let's see what happens within the hour. I'm also going to take a look at gold or copper, see what kind of deal it has, see if it has something. This one, it's doing something on copper. We're just going to keep an eye on copper as well. So, and the reason why I look at both gold and copper is copper by far has been one of my best instruments to trade CRT. Now with copper, it's not as A+ as the gold setup because of one thing, the accumulation hours in the middle between it being on the upper half, which would be more of a bullish directional bias, but also on the lower half, which can be a bearish directional bias. But because I'm seeing gold is bullish, I'm seeing the SAR dots over here. This basically means that the odds are that price is going to push it upwards as well. So I'm going to be looking at these two. NQ, it's most likely going to go up as well, but it is a high risk just because it's so far away from getting out of the 50 EMA that I'm not willing to take that risk. Personally, I just feel way more comfortable looking at either copper because it's so close to getting out of this 50 EMA, or gold, which is already, primed to be well above the 50 EMA. So this would be more of an A+ setup in my opinion versus the copper, which is more of a B setup, but it can be a very good B setup. So don't sleep on copper, bro. Don't sleep on copper. It can definitely do a lot of things. Now, let me see if I'm getting any chats. No chats. Okay, that's fine. Hopefully someone will be able to see the stream anyway, but it is what it is. So we are doing that thing. Give me just a minute. I'm just going to go grab some water because this is going to be a long stream. So yeah, but I definitely like the setup on gold. Really, really like it. I just needed to sweep here though. So keep an eye on it. We'll see what happens. And I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, I'm back. Back again. Back again. Yeah. Okay, we're just going to check the audio just to see how it's doing. Good enough for my strategy because my win rate hop 1, 2, 3. So we're looking at here, noting the candle, noting what's going on, noting the sauce of what's going on here. Let me see. Management, which means I cannot be risking no more than 300 in a day. I ideally want to look for a setup where I'm spending maybe 120 bucks, but getting at least 2 to 3 times that. That's kind of like the play. I'm going to go on the hourly, and I'm going to highlight it just like the other one. But the big difference is the multiplier for this is 10 versus 100 on the GC contract. I want to go here, put in that. So that's one thing that I'm looking at, and been one of my best instruments to trade CRT. Now with copper, it's not as A plus as the gold setup because of one thing: the accumulation hours in the middle between it being on the upper half, which would be more of a bullish directional bias, but also on the lower half, which can be a bearish directional bias. But because I'm seeing gold is bullish, I'm seeing these SAR dots over here. This basically means that the odds are that price is going to push it upwards as well. So I'm going to be looking at these two. NQ, it's most likely going to go up as well, but it is a high risk just because it's so far away from getting out of the 50 EMA that I'm not willing to take that risk personally. I just feel way more comfortable looking at either copper because it's so close to getting out of this 50 EMA, or gold, which is already primed to be well above the 50 EMA. So this would be more of an A plus setup in my opinion, versus the copper, which is more of a B setup, but it can be a very good B setup. So don't sleep on copper, bro. Don't sleep on copper. It can definitely do a lot of things. Now, let me see if I'm getting any chats. No chats. Okay, that's fine. Hopefully someone will be able to see the stream anyway, but it is what it is. So, we are doing that thing. Give me just a minute. I'm just going to go grab some water because this is going to be a long stream. So, yeah. But I definitely like the setup on gold. Really like it. Just needed to sweep here though. Okay. So everything looks pretty good. Over here, it hasn't done anything yet. So I'm still more on that zone of just anticipating and waiting. Give me 1 second. I'm so sorry, guys, but I need to go and deal with this thing real quick. 1 sec. Okay. Right. We are back. I probably should be putting a pause screen when I keep getting up like this, but it is what it is. It makes it more authentic. All right. Now we're looking, and really now it's just a waiting game. Just got to keep waiting. So we have about 45 minutes. I'm going to kind of shut up now. If I do get any person who's interested or has any questions, just let me know. But as of right now, I want to save my speech until some action really begins, okay? All right. And yeah, just let me know. And we should be good. See. Okay, so right now I'm looking here. It's not exactly ideal. Let me check out the other tickers out there. Let's see if 6E has something for me. Hold up. Wait a minute. It's not looking too bad. So this is also another pretty good setup I'm looking at with 6E. So just like how NQ is soaring up, 6E is soaring up as well. So I'm just going to put it into my ticker list just to have it in the back of my hand just in case. But it's not bad. So I'm going to also take a look at this as well. So it's mainly gold is my top ranking one. 6E is not bad yet. It looks okay because it's above the 50 EMA. Check. It has the bullish SAR dots. Check. On the 1 hour time frame. Check. This would be the 10 o'clock is the accumulation hour. We want to make sure that we draw our 1 hour gap from 11 to 12. That represents the manipulation hour. Now, what makes this one unique though is unlike the gold setup, right? So this is the gold. It hasn't swept yet because if it sweeps, the alarm will ring. But on 6E, it's about to sweep. So I'm actually kind of curious to see what it would look like. So we really want to start to pay attention here because this might be the play of the night if it goes according to plan. So let me draw the little boxes on this one too. So this is going to be the 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. accumulation hour. And all of these are always going to be in EST, okay? Next one is going to be the manipulation hour. So that was accumulation hour. 11 p.m. is going to be the manipulation hour. So 11 p.m. Oops. Manipulation. Come on, boy. Manipulation. And then the other ones will be distribution. So this is actually happening right now. So I got to pay attention real quick. And the other one would be from midnight price onward. Let's say maybe like even 3 p.m. Probably the distribution hours. So I'm going to go to that. So this is definitely up there. And I'm going to put a timer over here just to see if it did sweeps. If it does capture our attention. We'll be paying attention to it. So I got gold. Gold is 1. 6E is 1. That's about to hit or cause a trigger. If it does, we'll kind of focus on that. And HG has already swept, but it needs to make the incredible push upwards and has to close here. So this is also pretty good. So take a look. You see this is the accumulation hour, right? If we zoom into the 5 minute, you'll see that the liquidity grab has already begun. Now, the way this is going to work for it to be considered an official CRT, by 11:55, note that 11:55, that candle has to close above the bottom of this rectangle, which represents the accumulation hourly range. Okay, if it can successfully do that, then in the next hour, whether it be the distribution hour, if it wants to go in, fill the gap, it'll be fine. But as of right now, it has to not only form that 5 minute fair value gap on this specific hour, but it has to close above this line right here by 11:55. So definitely going to be paying attention to all three of these because they all look pretty good. I will admit that I'm waiting for gold to give me a clean setup. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be checking through each one of these plays and just making sure everything is a-okay, is good. And yeah, because that is important. It's important. It's important. Yeah. Hold on. I wonder if, just kind of curious, if I can. Do this. I wonder if I could do that and still have the stream appearing. You know, I'm really just trying to see. Come on, man. Trying to see how that would work. So that way I can kind of see the chat a little bit. But every time I click, it'll always be. I wonder if this can separate on its own, like its own separate one. Because that's the one thing I've wanted to kind of figure out. Because I was told I'm supposed to put it like this, which is cool, which is fine. I think it's okay. But I'm not really able to like follow it in real time. And for some weird reason, when I'm trying to look at the live stream on my phone, it is not working. I don't know why. Because it's supposed to. It just won't work. Because it won't work on my phone, which is weird. Like I know I can watch it, but see? Look. Go to Sniper Games. Never mind. I don't want it to reverb. Okay. Okay, so that's pretty good. So if I do see something pop up, I'll have my phone, which I had like I'm going to have to get like a stand to prop it up. So whenever I'm streaming, I can kind of glance here. And that way it's not a distraction. So I know we're still live, right? Oops. Ooh. So we've been streaming for about 45 minutes. So we've been streaming for about 45 minutes. Yeah, next time I'll probably put something, but I don't want it to be a distraction. I just need to get like a little stand that I can put on top of this to kind of make it work, but I'll figure it out. So gold is about to go and sweep, which is good. I'm looking at HG, eyeing it, looking at it, seeing what it might do. So right now you might be wondering, you know, what am I doing at the moment? So I'm anticipating that it's going to start to form a bullish fair value gap on this setup right here. So with that being said, what will happen Sorry about that. Let me drink some more water. So what I'm anticipating is it'll probably create a pretty cool setup. But at some point in time, it needs to close over here, because if it doesn't close, then there's no trade. 6E is about to stop us out. Not stop us out, sorry. It's about to stop out the buy stops on the accumulation hour. So when it hits, we'll definitely be paying attention to it quite a lot. And same thing goes with GC, but it all depends on which way it wants to go. So it's now really just a waiting game at this point. Just keep an eye on that, try to see what we're doing here. Okay. All right. Gold is doing something. Yeah, but gold has been pumping though. It's crazy. Crazy pump. Okay, that's 6E. I'm looking at... Okay, finally. We got some action. We got some action. So now let's focus in on 6E. The goal is to make sure that that 55 candle that will form at 11:55 closes above this box. Now, in case you don't know how, what is the difference between an open and a close? For a green candle, this is the open, this is the closing price. For a red candle, this is the opening price, this is the closing price. So whatever 55 candle forms, it just needs to close above. So if it forms a red or green candle, then that top needs to be above this line. If it forms a bearish candle, it just needs to be that the close is still above this line. So always remember, open and close for bullish, open and close for bearish, open and close bullish, open, close, bearish. Gotcha? Got it? Good. Awesome. Also going to just take a little gander and then Q, see how it's doing, see how it's flying. I'm so tempted. So tempted, bro. But I can't. I gotta resist that temptation right there. Gotta resist that temptation, man. Gotta stick to my trading plan. Trading plan. I will stick to my trading plan no matter what. Holy French fries. Okay, we might see a bullish fair value gap live. So let's see what happens. Okay, so now that it has swept the sell stops over here, we're looking to see the first 5-minute fair value gap to form. Now, when it forms and we confirm that the 55 candle has closed above, then we enter the trade. There's a good chance that it could go form and then never retest again. That can happen, but because I'm trying to be more accurate, I will have to wait it out a little bit. But in the meantime, let's see what this setup would look like. Okay, so let's say hypothetically we had an entry right over here. I would go son of a French fry. Okay. All right, let's say I got some here. That would be $50. It's not exactly as saucy because that's only $250, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. Just gonna see if we can get a little bit more profitable with something like this. So I definitely keep an eye on it. Not necessarily the most sauciest play in the world, I will admit that. But we keep an eye on everything. You never know what's going to happen. So I'm going to just keep doing, see what it says. And yeah, give me a minute. I just got to go and check on a few things. And I will be back. I will be back. How long have I been doing this for? Let me look. 54 minutes. Okay, that's not bad. Let's see if I can do it for like 3 hours. I'll be back. I'm back, guys. I'm back. I'm back. Okay. We're back. We're back. We're ready to attack. Okay, so now we're going to take a look. Let's see how gold is doing. I hate it when this happens. So most likely it's going to sweep this top. So if it sweeps the top, then we have to switch to a different accumulation hour, which is going to be this one. Because when we are doing the bullish CRT model, we need to have the bottom swept first before we enter. If it sweeps the top, it's supposed to be more of a bearish setup. So in this sequence, I think is what you'd consider a liquidity run. So I'm just going to have to skip it. And this 11 p.m. will now turn into the next accumulation hour. So this is very important. Anytime that, let's say you're looking on the hourly, like this little sequence right here, right? You see how it was bullish on the first candle, but it did not sweep the bottom? Then this becomes the new accumulation hour. So with this one, it did sweep the bottom and eventually hit the top. However, it didn't provide us with a 5-minute fair value gap to enter. So let's take a look at this example right here. I think I already kind of showed you this, but when I entered, or if we had tried to enter this, it wouldn't have been worth it to us because of this. Right? It swept. It did form that bullish fair value gap, but by the time it formed it, it did not go. It already swept the top before filling, which goes against the plan. It needs to fill the gap before touching the top of the rectangle, because that's like the goal. That's the target that we're trying to hit. That's why we couldn't take that setup. Now with this one over here, it's poised to being pretty much what's called a liquidity run. So unfortunately, with something like this, we'll have to wait for another setup. So yeah, this is going to be a liquidity run going up, which doesn't really fit my strategy because my strategy is based on liquidity grab, not liquidity runs or continuation plays. So with that being said, let's see if silver might have something. Because this is literally what I have to do every night. Checking to see if there's an opportunity. Silver and gold tend to have similar price action a good chunk of the time. The copper one, unfortunately, is going to be a no bueno in this case. I really don't like it going deeper and deeper into the being below the 50 EMA. I personally don't like that because I ideally want it to be up. So I may have to go for the CE trade. Oh boy. All right. As long as it gets me a 2R trade, that's a-okay. But if that's the case, I may try to push the trade a little bit more. So we'll see what happens. So right now, that is 1140. So we're looking for 1155. So let's see what happens. Let's see if we can catch a clean setup. Because it's starting to form and could possibly form a strong push, I need to now pay attention to this. So we're going to now switch to 6E on the real account. I'm going to go to Euro FX because this looks like a textbook bullish CRT setup right about now. So I want to make sure I am aligned to take advantage of that setup. And yeah. Okay, I should be aligned to take this setup. Just making some adjustments here, guys. Give me a minute. Just to have it show me if I'm getting any chats or something. I know I'm probably the only one here, but I gotta trade. I got to trade. Got to trade, got to trade, got to trade. Whenever you hear me singing, it means I'm like super tired and I'm trying to just keep myself up to trade the play. So this is going to be very important. So you see here, remember when I said we have to have a 5-minute fair value gap? Well, in this scenario, this would be the top of the CRT. So at least we're going to get a 3R out of it. Now, the key thing is it needs to form that fair value gap. Now, a fair value gap takes 3 candles. So we had 45, 50, 55. So basically, that 50 candle needs to be bullish. And then that 55 needs to make sure that it does not close. So that way there's a bullish fair value gap for this to be a valid accumulation model that I can use. For this to be a valid bull CRT setup for me to use. Okay. So we're going to just pay attention to it, take a look at it, and let's see if it will form a bullish fair value gap. Okay. Now notice what is happening in this manipulation hour. I've set my stop loss to the lowest point that you can find during this specific hour, which I like to call the manipulation hour. The reason why this is going to be very important is price. Whenever it fills, it tends to put the setup sometimes on deep drawdown where it gets real close, but doesn't take out the stop. So that's why I always 100% always make sure that I move my stop loss to being at the manipulation hour. So we have that, and we'll see what that play will look like. Then I'm going to go on this side, see how much it would cost to do 2 of them, because I can only have 2. Wait a minute. Can I only have 2? Hold on, one sec. Because if I can have a little bit more, that would not be a problem. That's 75. Stop loss would be there at 225. But if I can get 3 of them, that'll be 337.50, which is still decent enough, even for a trade. But I gotta check my Topstep account. I can't do that live. Oh, that sucks. Okay, I gotta go on mobile. Give me a sec. Let's see. Just gotta see if I am allowed to scale to 3, because I should be increasing in terms of scale. So let me take a look. Log in. Not that. That sucks. Come on, buddy. 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 Ah, fries me, man. No. Why? That means I have to. Oh, man. Come on, man. Push. Actually, this is actually important, guys. So give me a second. Gotta log into my account real quick. Trying to see how many contracts I can actually spend. Because I should be allowed... Oh man, I'm allowed to trade 5 contracts. That's crazy. That's crazy. Give me 1 second. I gotta look at my scaling plan real quick. So if your profit balance is above 2,000. Oh, okay. Okay, maximum is 5 lots. Remember that, 5 lots. So if that's the case, we're gonna crank up these lots. It's like 112, and that way I can be able to get a pretty good setup. Okay, cool. And it's still a third. Nice. And I'll take that. Because the faster I can do this, the better. But this candle right here has to close up. If it does not close up, then it's of no use to us. But at least I need to put that in my guide. You can trade up to 5 lots. You can trade up to 5 lots when you are above 2,000, which is absolutely the case on both accounts. So put that in there. It's because I'm just trying to make sure I'm following the scaling plan. Okay. So here is the situation. So we have about 2 minutes and 21 seconds. If this does not close green, then this manipulation hour will most likely turn into the new accumulation hour. So we'll see what happens. And yeah, see how NQ is starting to plummet again. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. But we still gotta keep an eye on it, because you never know. Maybe my big play will be on NQ tonight. Okay. Check out gold. Anything on gold? I think we'll just have to set this one as a new accumulation hour. So here we go. Still really looking to see if I can get a clean gold setup, because that's where like the sauciest setups are right now. So I'm just going to keep an eye on gold. Keep an eye on gold. So this would become the new accumulation hour. 6E, unfortunately, is not going to have enough time to form a bullish fair value gap. So this right here is null and void. So what that is, so what that means is I'm going to have to look for another setup. So it is what it is. It is what it is. So let's go here. Removing the drawings. Still top pick is GC. HG. It's now going on that tricky zone, which I don't like. So at that point, I'm just gonna have to let it go on that one. Over here, not necessarily the best. But let me take a look at 6J and crude oil. Ooh, hold up. Hey, maybe there might be something on 6J. Take a look at 6J. Let's take a look at 6J. Let's see. Going over here. Okay. So it did form a fair value gap, which is good. I like that. And I did feel it. So there's a good chance that it might not feel it again. That's the risk or the trade-off. I have to wait until the 55 is done. I'm hoping it will touch it again. And it's also going to be above, which is good. I like that too. Now let's see if I bought two of them here. $50. That'll be 150. The only problem I will say with the Japanese yen is it's so expensive and I don't get a good return on it all the time. It's like I would have to put so much money just to get 300. It's just not worth it in the fees because that thing's like about $6, man. It's no joke. It's really expensive. You know, when you stack on contracts like this. So I'm gonna have to because now to make 150, it's like you just don't get the best pricing all the time with the 6J. It's one thing I don't like. It's not like the best pricing because I'm also here to, you know, get a good deal, right? Here there's nothing. Still looking to see where I can get a good deal. I'm not really getting it on 6J. It might go up, but it's not worth the fees because if you didn't know, these things are pretty expensive. So, for example, I'm just going to go to Drive on Google. Okay, if I go to my Topstep fees for these accounts, and we go in and look at I'm on the wrong one. I need to look at the actual fees. Sorry about that. Sorry, guys. There we go. Take that out. And then we control F6J. That's 324. 324, man. That's crazy. So I'm paying 324. So 324 times 2, 648 to make 150. Okay. Now, ideally, I want to be like closer to about 300, just so that way we are growing in a nice steady pace. So I would be paying $12.96 to make $300. Now, I know that sounds bad. It's just like it seems like I'm not getting like the best bargain with it. So I'm not really too keen on entering on that setup. Because it needs to make sense. Like I gotta be able to get like, you know, a good deal. It needs to be a good deal. For me, I'm gonna just skip it for now. Not that it doesn't work, but it just seems like a waste, man. But tough situation, I'll put it that way. But it might be the only play for the night, so I have to really think about it. Should I take it? Because this is technically an A+ setup. It's just like I would have wanted a little bit more, to be honest. But it is a solid A+ setup. But then I'm going to try to use what I call the sniper gains push. Try to see if I can really squeeze something out of it. All right, this is what I'll do. Let's do this. I'm going to go here. So this is accumulation, manipulation, close within the range. So we're anticipating it'll go bullish. So because of that, I got to draw my verticals. And then we'll have to record if this is going to be a winner or a loser. I really will have to wait what the market shows. But if the market is showing something saucy, I'm willing to try to see if 6J can push, hopefully, to kind of make it worth a while. But we can do it to get 300, but I will try to set up a sequence here because it already formed that. Just want to see if it will retap. It can retap me in. Oh crap, that's a little bit faster than I thought, but it is what it is. Let's see. So knowing this, I'm only risking 100. Let's see what happens. So if I take a look at the math, I shouldn't be risking no more than 100 and $112.96, which is still fine in my opinion. But what I will do though, to kind of see if I can maximize, is I'm going to put on the sniper gains 5-minute pusher, which is going to come up next on 1.5. Put that here. Let's see what we can do. And then 1.5R. Okay. So basically, simply put, if you take a look at the 5-minute or the 1 hour, accumulation hour, manipulation candle, close in. So if it's already filled, it might tap in again and push all the way up. That's the hope, but there's no guarantees. So that's just part of the play. So here we go. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I'm going to see if I can push price a little bit more, try to squeeze a little bit more out of this play, hopefully, but we'll see what happens. So the play is technically in motion because it was already filled in during the manipulation hour. Now, the reason why I didn't enter during this time is because I needed the 55 to close above. So sometimes I can take that risk of it being able to close, but just to keep things consistent, I usually like to wait for 55 to officially close above. So I know that when I go back and I'm looking at the time frames, everything perfectly aligns. So knowing about that, I'm just gonna see if it will retap again. If it doesn't and it goes to here before entering my order here, then the play has been complete, so I cannot enter. But if it so happens to retap again, I'm going to target here, and I'm going to try to see if I can raise my stop loss to the 1.5R and see if I can push the trade by following the 5-minute fair value gaps that can easily form. So that's the play, that's the sauce. So I'm just going to keep an eye on that. In the meantime, my money play is still going to be more focused on gold. Now, if gold keeps going up and up and up, it does present to being a problem, unfortunately. So I'm just going to keep an eye on this, try to see, what we can do. And yeah. Yep. See on the 5-minute. What? No way. It actually formed it? Are you serious? Oh man, then yeah, let me let me switch to the other one. I thought it did not form it though. That's crazy. Hold up. Let me check. Because I did not think it would form that that gap. Man, these things are going faster than me. That's not cool. Oh man, hold on guys. I gotta like speed through this because this is actually an important trade. 1 sec. Come on, buddy. Come on. I did not think it would. Yeah, it actually did do it. Oh shoot. Okay, give me a second. I got to see if I'm in a good position first, because at least 6E will give me a clean setup, a fair price. But I have to check and see how much I'm risking. 1 sec. Shoot. Come on, buddy. Come on. You know I have to wait. Come on, buddy. Don't leave without me. Let me do my mathematics, please. Come on. Okay. 131. And 2.3. It's still on the expensive side, but if I could get that at a 131.25, that's not bad. It would be 300. Wait. Hold on. It would be a little bit more, actually. At 318. I'll take it. I'll take that trade. Okay. Yep, that's going to be the trade for the... Okay, limit buy. I'm going to enter here. So target is going to be top of the range, which is going to be closer to about here. Yep. Now we're just waiting to see if it will fill that gap. Yeah, I had to cancel the 6J just because time, bro. But this one is a much cleaner setup than the 6J. In my opinion, I think it's a better one because what's happening is you have the bullish star dots here. You have it being a well above the 50 EMA. And it would give it a chance to fill. Now, the only issue sometimes with this setups in particular is because if it's 6E, it might fill, but not go all the way. But I have the discipline now, after doing this for quite some time, to just wait it out. I know that the 6E, it is going to be on the expensive side, 324. So 324 times... 324 times 3 contracts is 972. Okay, so it's like 317 minus 972 is 307.28. That's not bad. That's not a bad that's a fair price for 2.43. And yeah, so now it's basically matter of it filling. So if it fills, there we go. We're gonna go set the stop loss here. Set to take profit here. No funny business, just playing the game. So now I know that my risk is going to be 131.25. So I'm going to go and simply go into my TradeZella. 131.25 is my risk. My fees is going to be 324 times 3, which equals 972. So my total expense is going to be, it's going to be on the slightly higher side. 131.25 plus 9.72 is about 140.97. 140.97 spread over 2 accounts. Playbook. It's a bullish 1 hour CRT. Ticker 6E. And then whatever he wants to do is whatever he wants to do. So target is going to go right here. And then we are just going to watch this thing either take it to the profit target of 318.75 minus that 972. 318.75 minus 972. That's a 309.03 on this account, on the other account. And if that's the case, we'll just close the trade and log it, because I try to just focus on just minimizing my trades as much as possible. Now, anything can happen. I have no idea what will happen next, but to improve the viewing experience, I'm going to expand this all the way up. And I'm going to let you guys watch the show. So this is one of the things where I'm just going to sit here and be a spectator. Now, one of my rules is I cannot interfere with the trade. So as soon as it filled, it's either going to go stop me out at 131.25. I made sure that my stop loss is at the manipulation hour. It's a lowest range. And I'm also taking a look at everything else. So here, it's good. That's the top. And then over here, this is going to be the 10 o'clock hour. So 10 p.m. EST accumulation hour. Okay, so we're going to go bam, boom, boom, bam, boom, boom. And copy, son of a, copy, paste. Now this is going to be the manipulation hour. So to kind of review what's happening, it formed it by 55. So you see, that's what I was saying. Come on. Lock it in, bruh. Fine. Lock. Okay. Some French fry. Okay. Anyway, I hate that this thing is coming up to block. But okay, look. 1, 2, 3, right? So imagine where this candle is. Look at the rectangle. So 1, 2, 3, that last one is going to be the 11:55 candle. So because it's at 11:55 candle, it definitely formed the 5-minute fair value gap within the manipulation hour. So the way I do it is I will always enter at the fill of the gap. So we've entered the fill right now. So price is about to push, and the target is to just sweep out the sell stops. Sorry, buy stops right over here. So we're just going to wait for it to do its thing. And again, I don't know if it'll make it or not, but what I do know is I'm going to follow my trading plan. Either it hits the take profit or it hits the stop loss. So that's the accumulation hour. The next one will be the distribution hour. Then here I'll just say like 10 or 11 p.m. to, I'm anticipating maybe this might take maybe 2 hours. Distribution hours. And now we just wait. So this is the part that requires a lot of discipline. You have to wait. You cannot interfere with the trading. You cannot interfere with anything. So you have to just let it do its thing and not touch it. So I'm just going to make the adjustments, move it to that size. And you guys are just going to watch and we'll see what happens. Okay. I'm going to be back in a few minutes. I just want to see what it looks like on this stream and I'll be back. All right. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm back. So, as you can see, when it filled in that gap, it pushed up quite a lot. Now, this is where the discipline comes in. So, what we're doing is we're waiting for it to hit. No matter what, I have fully accepted this risk. That's the big difference. Like, this thing can go slam, I take the trade at that level. So, gotta make sure that it's right. Let me move this real quick. I don't want it to interfere. Okay. So keep in mind, because we're in the Asia session, that volume is not necessarily going to be as solid as the other one. So give me 1 second. I want to just make sure we are good on the stream. Okay. Yeah, we should be good. So we're going to go back to the action again. So for me, one thing I've had to learn is as soon as I enter the trade, these numbers, I literally, I'm not saying wipe them off from my eyes or anything like that, but I just kind of blur them out, because for me personally, the reason why you might see me kind of taking a walk and then coming back is just to regulate my emotions. I know for the viewing experience, it's important for you guys to see the numbers because it just makes it more entertaining, for you. But I also understand there's a psychology aspect of this where you just simply, sometimes the numbers can get to you. So for me personally, what I'm doing is if it get to me a little bit, I walk. If I'm in a good, calm state, I'll stay on. But the whole idea is for you to see that I'm committed to this edge. I am committed to either stop loss or take profit. Hopefully it's a take profit, because that would be awesome. That'll be nice to kind of continue my, winning streak. But again, at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's about the edge. Gotta follow the edge. So far, you'll probably notice that I've had a 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I can lock this in for that 300, that'll be a 5 winning day. And if it's that, bam, would lock it up for the next session. Because I try to take only a few trades at a time. So you see that? I do not take a lot of trades. I keep it very minimal because I'm designing a system where I can copy trade. That's the whole idea behind this edge, that it makes it a lot easier to copy trade. And if I can copy trade it, I can stack the amount of money that I'm making. So that's essentially what's happening here. We're going to go back to the action, and then we'll let 6E decide what it wants to do. So no more interfering, no more going back and forth. I want you guys to watch the show, and I'll be here when it rings. So if you have any questions, this will be the perfect time to let me know, what questions you might have, and I can kind of explain to you, what I'm doing. Yup. So I'm just going to be checking a few things on the other side, make sure the string is good. But that's really it, man. This is now just a waiting game. Okay. So price is doing its thing. you'll see that it had a big surge or a big push of bullish momentum as soon as it filled that fair value gap. Now, the hope is that price will continue upwards. And if it continues upwards, that'll be awesome. But again, like I said, committed to the edge. So sometimes, let's just say if I notice that my emotions are kind of getting in the way, you'll probably see me walking away from the screen because I'm not a robot, but my commitment to this edge is kind of crazy. Because if you think this is nothing, I've committed to this for some crazy RR setups, crazier RR setups. But again, anything can happen. That's one thing I've noticed about this trading stuff is I cannot really control what happens with this market, but I can take good, calculated trades. So I ideally want to try as much as possible. If my first one is a winner, I just take it and run with it. If it's not, then I have 2 more shots added. That's why I like to split my risk into thirds. So if a person who's looked at this setup before, they might kind of get emotional. They might feel like, oh man, I don't want to lose this money. But at the end of the day, I'm just playing a game. I'm just playing a game where consistency will win over a long period of time. So we just wait it out. We just see what it does. And yeah, because it took me a long time to train my mind to follow this system. Because, right now it might be just like a few $100, but, as the account starts to grow and I'm able to up my risk a little bit more, then it's going to be more and more intense. The key thing is just to be consistent and, to get the best of the best, out of this. So, yeah. Yep. Any questions at all? Nothing? No questions? All right. All right, I'm back. So what's going to happen is I'm just going to be using my phone to kind of take a look at what the stream quality looks like, just to kind of make sure everything's in frame. But should be saucing, and we should be good. So if you guys have any questions, just let me know. That's why I'm here. So, yeah. So right now, in terms of the action, essentially what it's doing for all of you SMC nerds, it's basically this. If you take a look at it, it's essentially doing a change of character, like a true change of character. So this could act like a bullish setup to kind of form a new higher high, higher low, and hopefully a higher high, but you know, we'll see what happens. So let's take that off. Go to take a look and see if we got any stream comments. Let's see if we got any stream comments. Yeah. Streaming comments is cool. Streaming comments is fun. Streaming. Yeah. Like I said, when I start to sing, that means I'm kind of sleepy. But while this is cooking, let's actually watch something a little bit different. I'm going to go and show you what my notes looks like when it comes to doing these models. So I'm going to pop out of here for just a second. I promise we're going to come back in just a minute. Just want to show you something different. So here is an example of one of my plays that I did on copper. Kind of like that. There was a manipulation hourly candle. We were able to enter and it shot right up. So these are kind of like the notes. This is kind of my template that I typically am using for my system. So whatever happens, we're going to, after the play, win or lose, we need to come in here and log it. And I'm going to show you how I personally log my trades, whether they're winners or losers. I always have to log everything. Okay, so let's go back in. Oops, I think this might not be the one. Ugh. All right, we shall see. We shall see. We shall see. If it stops us out, we gotta record it. So that's part of the trading edge. Now, for a person who's using this strategy, whenever you see that such a huge red candle, you'll be like, "Oh man, maybe I should get out. You know, maybe I should stop out. You know, I don't want to experience the pain of a loss." The thing about this stuff is, whenever you trade, you have to fully accept everything, win or loss. Like, you have to accept whatever the result is. The key is to remember that this is going to be over a long period of trades. Make sure that you take good setups, make sure you do your best, and that's really it. So right now you are seeing the numbers, but I'm mainly focused on the price action. I'm just basically going to give my commentary of what's going on. Basically, if you are a supply and demand trader, kind of looks like it went into that supply. Now, my hope is it'll hold, but there's no guarantee. Okay, that's like one key thing to remember. There's no guarantee for this setup, but I will still take it every time, every single time, every single time. So now it's just a matter of waiting and being patient. If it stops us out, we'll record it. If we win, we'll record it. Regardless, we're recording the setup. So at this stage, you'll probably notice that I'm not looking to the right of this just because I don't want to look at these numbers. And the reason why I've actually purposely zoomed it in is so that way I don't see the balance at the top. So I'm mainly just focusing on the price action right there. And we just wait it out. Now, if I feel like my emotions are triggering me a little bit, I'll probably just take a walk and come back. So I'm just kind of curious, how long have I been trading this thing for? Let me take a look at one thing. One sec. NASDAQ is still pulling up, so should push up, but we'll see what happens. Still trading, still trading. We shall see what happens today. Still trading, still trading. We shall see what happens today. Oh, 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 oh. I think one thing that I need to do is just wait and be patient. And I feel like my emotions are starting to kick in. So I'm going to go for that walk. I'll be back in a few. Okay, I kind of noticed I was super sleepy that I've made a mistake over here. 1 second. I should say 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Then the distribution hour is most likely going to be from 12 to 2 p.m. just because my average trades tend to be about 2 hours. Okay. So, oops. So right now, mainly it's just a waiting game. We just want to see what happens. We'll see if it will start to pick up some sort of push. Now, let's take a look at a different outlay just to kind of see. We'll go to the Sniper Games layout, and here you can kind of see some of the orders. Now, I'll be honest with you, when it comes to times and sales, I've tried to understand this stuff, man, but I don't know how people are able to trade just solely based on this, but somehow they're doing it. For me, it just it just looks like green and reds going through. I even tried to see, like, you see how over here showing there's a big sell order at what would have been 23.38 and then 52, because you'd think if you see something like that, there'd probably be a big heavy order. That's the one area that I'm just not as what's the word? I don't want to say proficient, but it hasn't been my cup of tea when it comes to just this strictly just trading purely on order flow alone. That's why I sometimes use smart money concept stuff to help me out. And here, at the end of the day, it's whatever helps you make money. If you do use the time and sales and you know how to really work it, hey man, let me know, because I would appreciate it. Whatever I can do to improve my edge is always something that I'm always interested in. So if you're a guru in time and sales, please share your thoughts in the comments below, because I would like to really improve that technique. So there we go. We're going to go back to our normal schedule programming. Go to default and move this up. Zoom that in. And now we're just going to wait for a price to do its thing. So now it has come in. It looks like it's pushing up to hopefully go and tag this. But again, when it comes to the trading, we never know what's going to happen. We just sit here and we watch and we nod our heads and we learn from it. So that is basically what I'm doing. And I will just have to wait and see what's next. So I'm going to maximize it again, and pretty much I'm just going to take a walk, and I'll just wait until it rings. If it rings here, awesome. If it rings here, that would suck, but then we can now move on to that next chapter, which is to record the trade setup. So here we go. I'm going to put it on mute. Oops. So I'm going to put it on mute in just a minute, but I'm going to put it like this. So when everything, as soon as it says order filled, either it will be order filled at 318.75 or order filled at 131.25. After that, we're going to record. If it's a winner, we're going to close the trade for the entire session. So that way we'll open our next trade in the next Asia session. If it's not a winner, then we have 2 more shots that we can at least be able to use, for the day. Or realistically, maybe 1 or 2. Depends on the setup I can get. So fingers crossed. Let's see what happens next. Okay, we're about to get stopped out right about now. So whatever happens, we need to record it. So we're just waiting for that to stop us out. So here we go. Are you kidding me, bro? Come on. Yep, this is the nonsense I gotta deal with sometimes. I thought for sure. Huh. Okay, so basically, it's looking, well, I was assuming that it was gonna stop us out. But again, regardless, win, lose, draw, I'm sticking to the game plan. If it's a stop out, we record it, we write down all our notes, and then we'll look for another trade. So I'm going to hunt and see if I can get a good trade. I hope this makes it, but I don't know. I'll just simply say I don't know. We just have to wait and see. However, we just have to wait and see what it ultimately chooses. So yeah, we'll wait. But now I'm back. Need to take a little break. I've already back ready to commentate a little bit more. So yeah, now that this is cooking, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go here, and we have to wait until it completes, because it's just part of the training plan, right? So now we're looking at it. It's about minus 3750. We'll see if in that zone it's gonna pop. Is it gonna do something, or is this just it playing around with us? Let's see. Let's see. Either way, I've already shown you what that template looks like for the bullish 1 hour CRT. So just to kind of recap everything while this is playing out, if we look at it on the 1 hour time frame, the reason why I took it in the first place is because of a few things. It's above the 50 EMA, which shows more of a bullish directional bias. If we zoom in underneath here a little bit more, you'll see the bullish SAR dots. So it has bullish momentum and bullish directional bias. Now, when I zoomed into the 5 minute, we saw that it formed the 5 minute fair value gap between 45 and 55, which means it formed that fair value gap within the manipulation hour. I'm so sorry, guys, that it's been saying accumulation hour this whole entire time. My bad. And then 12 to 2 would be the distribution hours. So it's doing something, right? It's doing something. Now we just have to wait and see if it will pop up or drop down. So we just have to watch and see. But ideally, if it does tag us at 318.75, that would be awesome way to cap the trade. But the opposite side can also happen. One thing that I do is I'd like to just be at a neutral state as much as I can and just follow the trading plan as much as possible. So looking at this, we are just waiting for it to hit here or here. And this is why whenever you trade this specific system, you cannot be, it's not recommended to trail until it taps this zone first. Now, I do have a technique I'll show you guys probably in the future of how I do that. But for right now, I'm just mainly focusing on just hitting this target right here. So I'm going to go back to full screen and we'll just wait it out, see what we're doing. And I'm just going to check on how the stream is doing on the opposite side. So give me just a minute, okay? Cool. Cool. Yep, it is a waiting game. It is a waiting game. So let's see. We entered this trade at around 1210. It's about 140. So we've been in this trade for quite some time. So we'll see what happens next. Okay, so now I'm just looking at the candles. Now I'm just looking at the candles. I don't want any kind of sound from the headphones to interfere with the mic. But like I said before, committed to this trade setup. As you can tell, can be very emotional whenever you have a lot of capital on the line. That's why you want to follow a good risk management system. So we're just going to wait it out, see what happens. And yeah, we're just going to be here. I'm going to be occasionally glancing to my left just to see if there's any chats. If there are any chats, we will be able to answer any questions you might have. So yeah, if whatever questions you guys have, let me know and I'll be able to answer it. No problemo. So, yep. I'm just kind of curious, since this is the CRT entry model, is what I typically use. What do you guys use? Do you use like supply and demand, support and resistance? Let me know what trading edge you guys use in the comment box below. So while this one is running, I'm going to now have to take a look at the other tickers just in case this one doesn't make it. We'll just have to see what the other tickers are showing. So let me just check and see. All right. Okay. So, man, gold, bro. Gold is on fire, man. It's always on fire. It's always on fire. Look at this. This is ridiculous. 93 points. 93 points. When has gold reached 90 anything points in the past like 2 months? That's crazy. That's insane. And there's no entry for your boy. That's what's even very frustrating, man. It's gotta be an entry in there. It's got to be. Man. All right, let's take a look at the other various instruments that we have. So I want to take a look at man, that Japanese yen was the play. Son of a well. That's very frustrating. Very frustrating. Man. All right. So at the moment, let's see if we've got anything, any sauce, any plays. Nothing? Nothing at all? Okay. No problem. No problem. I've done everything I can. Let's see what we can do here. Nothing here. I know the metals are going up. It's just HG, which is one of my favorite instruments to trade, has not given me an entry point that I can use right now. It's definitely showing the bullish SAR dots right over here. So that's a promising sign. But, you know, as with this trading edge, it hovers around a 40 to 50% win rate. So we're just going to have to pay attention, see what 6E will do. It's in a weird spot. Like it wants to pop, but I don't know. So we'll just have to wait it out and see. Either way, we are committed to the trade. I think this might take us to 3 a.m. Okay, so we just wait it out. Keep checking in just to see, hey, what's going on? But man, one of the things I wish gold could do was just give me a clean entry for my system, because now it almost seems like it loves just to do liquidity runs, which is not my edge per se. I can really do liquidity raids. Liquidity runs tends to be a little bit tougher when it comes to the stop loss placement, which is very important for me. So right now, it's a matter of just waiting to see what happens. Let's see. What I will do is I'm also going to set a timer on this line for copper, because I know GC is going to be flying. Inevitably, copper should start to fly too. But as you can tell, it's probably going to go down. So yeah, this one is most likely going to form a... Yep, we're about to get stopped out, guys. Watch out. Come on, man. Pick a direction, bruh. Okay. And let's see. Okay. Okay. We're gonna go and see what it's showing over here. Okay, so that's GC. So I'm saying, sorry, back to what we were saying before. It's most likely gonna stop us out, just the way it's moving. Because right now it says 85. If it does stop us out, we'll need to record it immediately before looking for another trade. And there it is. Okay, come on. Okay, so we've been stopped out and the loss is $140.97. So because of that, we need to record it immediately. So the way we do it is in TradeZilla, you're going to go click add a trade. And here you can be able to create the various accounts. The one account that we're going to put it in is going to be the Topstep funded account. So this is technically a loss, which sucks. But part of the trading plan requires me to be able to record everything. So 6E just did not come in clutch today. Anyway, so when it comes to doing all of this, we need to record the amount of contracts. Yeah, I know. Okay, so it's a loss. We accept it. We move on. Now we have to go in and look at what happened. If we go to trades and we just zoom in. So the trade duration took about 1 hour, 39 minutes and 48 seconds. So over here, we put in 3 contracts. Now remember, what we're doing is we're copy trading. So if we go and we look to the other one, it's going to be the same exact numbers. So, 972. Oh, yeah. Yes, 972 times 2. Makes sense. All right. So 3, 3. Now what I'm going to do is when I go here, the contracts will say 6 and 6. And the reason why is I had 3 contracts on copy trade number 1 and then 3 other contracts on copy trade account number 2. So bullish. Now for fees, it's going to be 972 times 2 because we have 2 accounts. So 972 times 2 is 1944. And then the price we are going to go is and select that. Paste. And then now we're going to do the same thing here. Copy. So now I'm only down to 2 more trades for this session, no matter what. 2 more trades for this session. And because it's 300 minus the 149, let me do this real quick. 1 second. Put this exit price. Copy. There we go. We're copying that. And then we just want to put the expiration date as here. And the date and time. So we did it technically on a Sunday. Or we started off on a Sunday, but then we closed it on a Monday. So if we take a look at the sequence there, it will say 12 and 13. So 23:10:09, 23:10:09. So 23:10:09. And then over here, it's going to be 004958, 004958. Okay. And now we're going to save the trade. So this would be a loss on in total of $281.94. So we're going to choose the playbook. So the playbook in this case is the bullish 1 hour CRT. And then now I need to go and copy and paste my template. So here we go. Bam. I want to go over a few, just kind of review my template and how I do it. So the first part of the template is I'm going to always take a photo of the 1 hour directional bias. So this is essentially the trade snapshot before the trade execution, just to kind of give me an idea of the setup prior to me entering it. So in this case, since this is going to be the bullish 1 hour directional bias, what I will do is I'm going to go to trading view. And then we are going to, the funny thing about this is it will most likely go and probably go up again. If it does that, that would suck. But it is what it is. So when we're doing this, we're just going to move this here, and we are going to go and set it up on replay mode. So we're going to click replay, and then I'm going to select the bar. Select the bar. I'm going to go up to here. Now, when I'm charting this, so I'm going to take this out, take this out. I want to record what it looks like prior to me entering the trade. So first things first, I'm going to put in my horizontal line over here. And then we're going to type it in. So this is going to be the bullish 1 hour CR. Oh, sorry about that. So I'm going to say any 1 hour accumulation, a candle above this 50 MA is as a bullish directional bias. That's part one. Part two is we're going to highlight these dots so we know that we're dealing with bullish SAR dots. So here we go. This is me journaling everything. So here I'm going to type in 1 hour bullish SAR dots equals bullish momentum. So now that we have that, the last part is going to be here, which I'm going to put in the, what is this? 10 p.m. EST accumulation hour. Okay, no problem. Bam. And then when it looks just like this, I'm going to take a clean snapshot. Kind of like that. And for me, I use the snipping tool. So we're going to go here. Take a photo of that. Bam. Then go over here. Copy. Then we're going to go to the journal itself. So here, we're going to take that out. Swap it out. So that's part one. Now in part two, I'm going to zoom in to kind of see the overall play on the 5-minute time frame. So on that 5-minute time frame, we're going to put our entries spot and our exit spot. So we've kind of already been starting on that process. We're going to go to the chart. What the fries is my chart, bro? What is going on here? Hold on. What's going on? So why did it not record my stuff? Like, I know we created that for sure. Okay, no problem. We can always recreate it again. I know I did it though, because I literally did it, but maybe I might have turned it off without realizing it, or like deleted it out. But it's all good. It's all good in the hood. Like you go here, still 10, 11. I'm gonna post it right here. Bam, boom, bam, boom. And then now we're going to go to the 5-minute. And we're going to look at that. And here we go. So what I'm doing is I'm recreating the original trade. So in my assumption, because I saw it was above the 50 EMA, and I had the bullish SAR dots, that it had a chance to have a bullish momentum. However, with something like this, it's not always guaranteed, but it's all good. we still take the same exact setup, probably on a different ticker, because I'm kind of a little bit pissed off right now of that happening, but it's all good. I mean, like I said, gotta accept the consequences of every trade setup. That's why when you see me doing this, guys, please do not take it as financial advice, because you could lose a ton of money. So you just want to be able to only handle what you can handle. If you don't like losing money, don't do this, right? But if you're willing to take the risk to push in order to make a fortune, then you're going to have to put in the work. You're going to have to put in the practice, but nothing is guaranteed. That's the one thing about trading, is nothing is guaranteed or nothing is owed to you. You just have to go out there and hunt. And that's what I will do. Keep hunting until I get the best setups. So it's all good. We'll move on. So now, copy, paste. Now, ideally, my next setup, I would probably want to get a 3R plus trade, just so that way I can kind of keep the risk down to closer to about 100. That would be ideal. And yeah, so this is going to be the manipulation hour. And then this, unfortunately, is the distribution hours, which resulted in a loss. So we're going to say 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. to, was like 2 a.m. EST distribution hours. Distribution hours. So we'll go over there. And now we are going to type in and see if we have a trade. So here we go. We're going to type in entry. And then we need to type in exit, which will be colored in red to just show that it was a loss. There we go. Now, key thing is I need to find where I am keeping my arrows, because there are some arrows that I use when I do this. Trying to find where they are. So one sec. There we go. All right, here we go. The up arrow. And then the down arrow. Bam. So, oops. Okay. Now we're going to go here. We're going to zoom in. Make sure this is above. Bring it to the front. And once we have a pretty good picture, we're going to copy it to TradeZella. Now, when it's at this stage, I'm just going to print screen. So I'm going to click escape. And then I'm going to go to the TradeZella account, swap it out. Bam, boom. All right. Now we'll look at the rules. So you get to see this step by step. So rule 1, make sure the accumulation of that 1 hour candle is above the 50 EMA. Go back to the chart. You'll see that it was definitely above the 50 EMA. So this is the 10 p.m. accumulation hour above 50 EMA. That is going to be a check. So over here, we're going to write in the 10 p.m. EST accumulation hourly candle is indeed above the 50 EMA. Okay, so now we're going to go here and I'm going to copy. I'm going to paste. Why would it do that? That's crazy. Okay. Son of a French fry. Okay. Rule 2. Mark out the manipulation hour with 2 vertical lines. Since the accumulation hour was 10, the manipulation hour is going to be the next hour over, which is the 11 p.m. candle. So I marked out the 11 p.m. candle by using those 2 vertical lines. So it's going to be the 11 p.m. Why is it doing this, man? Why? It's just being weird. Okay, from 11, son of a French fry. Whoa, what is going on, bro? Hey, stop doing it. Stop it. Stop. Son of a French fry. Why? Ugh. All right. Pow, boom. Okay. All right. Obviously, there's something going on here. I don't know what's going on. That's 21. Okay, cool. Why is it doing this? 7. Okay. We are gonna change. Okay, from 11 to 12 a.m. EST. Your 2 vertical lines. Boom. Rule 3. Wait for sell side liquidity from the accumulation hour to be swept, which it did right over here. So I basically waited for the sell side liquidity from the 10 p.m. accumulation hourly candle to be swept. Rule 4. The manipulation hour must close within the accumulation hourly range. This box that you see is the accumulation hourly range. Top and bottom, it did close above it. The 1055 candle, which is, or 1155 candle, which is here, it's closed above. So it officially became a 1 hour bullish CRT. Look for the first 5-minute value gap to be formed during the manipulation hour, which it did between that and 11:55. So I'm going to say 11:55 p.m. Eastern. Was filled during the 12 a.m. distribution hour. And the rule for this one is distribution hour is this. Oops. Okay. Target the opposing buy-side liquidity graph from the accumulation hour. I ensured that I targeted the buy-side liquidity graph during the 10 that formed during the 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. accumulation hour. The profit target would have yielded a profit target of about, let's see, profit target of about 2.43. 2.43 R. Okay. So that part is covered. I would say that the B is technically it's considered an A setup because all the rules were followed. So we're going to go here, take a photo of both the leader account and the follower account. So we go here, go to Topstep, go to the leader account. Why is it looking so weird, man? Okay. Okay, so that would be the first one. And then the second one is going to be the July 1. Okay. So we'll go to July. Now we're going to make sure we highlight this. Go here. Oh, copy. And now when we copy, we're going to go back to the TradeZella. And now we're going to talk about trade execution. So, was I pleased with this trade execution? Yes. I was pleased with this because for the following reasons. Number one, I entered on the 5-minute gap and fill entry that formed during the 11 p.m. manipulation hour. Okay. 2, I didn't waver I didn't trail. I didn't allow the floating profits to cause me to basically I didn't allow the floating profits to cause me to deviate from my edge, which requires me to either hit the stop loss or the take profit target. Okay. My emotional state during the trade setup. I would say I felt a little bit more emotional because this is officially my first streamed trade. Naturally, I would have wanted it to come up as a winner. However, I understand that my edge hovers around a 40 to 50% win rate. The key is to keep trusting the edge and using good risk management at all times. Did I gain any insightful, useful, unique insight from this trade setup? Honestly, I didn't really gain any unique insight from this trade setup. I just hope that I can catch a good trade before I have to close the live stream. So that's basically me completing my playbook. And over here, I'm just marking all the rules that we've gone over. These right here is referring to the risk management protocols. So kind of give you an idea. I will always target the opposing buy side liquidity whenever I do a bullish 1 hour CRT. The buy side liquidity must have a 1 to 2 RR profit target, no exceptions. Follow your daily risk management protocol, which is what I'm doing right now. Now, this was the one thing I never got a chance to tell you guys, but it is very important. The trade setup is invalidated if it hits the buy side liquidity before filling in the 5-minute fair value gap, right? And the second way it gets invalidated is if the trade setup stops out the extreme low that appears in the manipulation hour, which is what happened in this trade. All right. This one doesn't count. This is something completely different. The market conditions don't trade during the bank holidays and avoid trading during the US red folder hours. This is why I personally like to trade between Asia and London session. So this was a loss. It sucks, but it's part of the edge. Okay. So we took a hit of 282. Hopefully we might be able to catch a winner, but we do not gamble here. And we're just going to follow the trading plan. So we're going to go to a daily journal. We're going to look at the notes. So let's say add notes. I thought there was already a note or view note. That's weird. I'm really confident that I picked a note, right? I don't know why. So I just know I did it. It's weird. It's kind of weird though. Oh, maybe yeah, now I got it. Yeah, because I was like, I know I had it done. Copy. Because it was technically on a Sunday, but I closed it today on a Monday. So it's all good. Just going to have to go there. That is 140. 140 loss. Loss. And now remaining balance. From 300, so 300 minus 140.97 is 159.03. So I ideally want to try to see if I can split that down. So remaining balance is going to be 159.03. So that's kind of like what I have to do whenever I'm doing these trades. And now we are going to go and hunt for another one. So I'm kind of sleepy, but I really, really would like to catch a good trade. I knew this thing would do that. I knew it. I knew it, man. I knew it. I hate you, 6E. I hate you. Well, that's annoying. Okay, let's look at the next setup. Here, it wants to push out, but I just don't feel comfortable trading the NQ at the moment because it's in a very, risky spot. So, the moment, I'm just going to skip on that. Let's take a look at HG, see if it's doing something. HD is doing something, but I ideally want it to go above here as much as possible, So 6C. Hate when that happens, man. And it's about to hit. Bruh. Man, what the fries? Okay. Clean it up. That was my first trade. Let's see if there's anything else for this setup. Okay. So this thing is going to be flying. Most likely will perform another liquidity run up. Which sucks, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So over here, that's not the best setup. It's not the best setup either. Just gonna keep looking and hunting, seeing if there's anything before I decide to go to sleep. Because I may have to go to sleep a little bit. Alright guys, I think I'm just going to call it a night. If I do catch a good trade, I'm going to try to make sure I at least have the live stream on, even if it's an off-stream trade. But as of right now, I haven't really, I'm not seeing any clean setups yet, and I don't want to force anything just because I'm on stream, because that's not smart. If I find something that's saucy, I'll come back and we should be okay. Okay? Cool beans. Have a good night. Peace.